What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are, talking about some NFL things. I was thinking, you know what? The video earlier today, not the greatest, not the strongest video I've had, and I was like, I hope something kind of interesting happens today. This is not what I was hoping for. Now, the fact that Green Bay was, working with him for so long, trying to get him his contract, try to, work through his needs and wants, and it took so long for them to actually develop some sort of deal, and it just never went through. They were super far apart. That was like the whole headline for like over a year now. This isn't crazy surprising. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, someone's gonna sign him in free agency. It's okay. I was saying, if Green Bay doesn't at least tag him, they're the weakest franchise I've ever seen. So they at least tagged him and traded him. So it's going to be a bit of a dead hit, I believe. Once again, I don't know exactly how this always works, because there's always like some way how another team can pay for the money on top of taking on, the player for draft picks or whatever. But regardless, the Raiders have traded for Davante Adams, one of the most talented wide receivers in Green Bay history, for, I believe, a first and second round pick. Now, it says prime picks. I would imagine prime picks, especially since it said 2022, means at least a first and third. It could be a first and second, hopefully, considering where the Raiders are picking. Even a first and a second isn't great, but I suppose considering you needed to pay Davante that crazy money, it is a lot better compensation than we've seen as of recent, for sure. But the things Davante was able to do definitely makes this a tough blow. I will admit, though, and it's not one of those, he's gone so he sucks situation. Davante is insane, and I absolutely love him. But as like a Packers fan standpoint, I was thinking anything over 4 years is already kind of risky. I'm thinking anything over 3 is kind of crazy. Because once again, he is up there in age. I believe, what is he, 29? Going to be 29 if not. I need to actually take a look at that. But, the guarantees are going to follow him when he's definitely going to be on the decline. He's definitely not there yet. Obviously, absolutely insane still. And the crazier part about this isn't the fact that he was just traded or anything like that. At the end of the day, money is a huge factor. But I heard that the Packers were actually willing to trade Davante the money, or pay Davante the money that the Raiders actually gave him. As you can see here, a 5-year 141.25, it comes out to like around 28 mil per, which is pretty high. I think the problem is you look at Hopkins' number, that's an inflated number. It should have never even been there anyways. It's pretty high, but the things he's able to do, it's pretty, worth it. I will say, as far as a him playing standpoint goes, I can see why he'd want to leave Green Bay. Green Bay is just constantly, I was saying it for years now, or not even years, but ever since the whole Rodgers unhappy thing came out, that really the one that should be unhappy is Davante. I get you have a Hall of Fame quarterback thrown to you, but they don't add any talent outside of you. I would leave as well if I was Davante. Why would you stay in Green Bay? The only reason I would stay in Green Bay is if I had like some crazy great relationship with the quarterback, which, yes, they have a good on-field relationship, but from what I've seen recently enough, maybe it was the final straw as well. But Rodgers, I heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but something was he said he was disappointed that Davante wasn't going to play on the tag. I don't know if that's actually true. It could be completely BS, because a lot of people love to drag Rodgers, so don't quote me on that. But I seen something about he was disappointed with Davante, and the fact that also quoted in as him saying that he felt it was selfish. I don't think Rodgers is that dumb, so it might have just been a troll post. Like, I don't think guy that's getting paid 50 per is going to be talking about selfishness, right? I feel like that would be really stupidly hypocritical. But obviously, Green Bay, once again, speaking of compensation, did get better comp than a lot of recent really good wide receivers. I'm not going to compare Amari Cooper, but, Hopkins, obviously, specifically. Julio is not quite the same because he was, declined on the injury and a little bit older, I believe. But definitely got better comp, but still, it's a huge blow for the Packers that you're thinking, okay, who's the guy outside of Davante? Now you have to think, who is the guy? I really am worried that this could bring, I like MVS a lot, don't get me wrong, but I'm worried that this could bring MVS back. And the reason why I'm worried about that is I know we're not trying to be in a rebuild mode, so going for rookie wide receivers to be number 1, number 2, number 3, whatever, is not a good idea. But MVS's market being somewhere in the 10 per, That's a little too much when you consider Davante is 3 times as good as MVS, without a doubt, especially durability-wise. I know Davante's been a couple banged-up plays here and there, but, I mean, the man took 2 career-ending hits to the head in 1 season and came back. He's a god, and I'm going to miss him dearly. I'm glad that he's going to the Raiders, though. Out of the conference, for 1, and 2, going to a place that, you know, it seems like he wants to be, so that's a good part of that. I'm glad for that. I'm glad he didn't go to some super team just because, right? The Raiders are, you know, they're building, it's a tough division. You know, you got to kind of add players. They added Chandler Jones. They added some players that are going to make them hopefully competitive in that division. But once again, like I said, reuniting with Derek Carr, I do like that. I'm glad for that. It's so much better than going to, like, you know, I don't know, the Chiefs probably don't have the cap space, but some team like the Chiefs or the Buccaneers, I'd freaking cry. But this case, I'm cool with it. It really hurts to see him go because he's just so freaking good. The route running's insane. The release is crazier. The hands are insane. The body awareness on the sideline and just a crazy red zone threat. Green Bay doesn't really have that, but I'm not going to say it's the same as Matthew Stafford with Calvin, but this whole telepathic passing situation where Rodgers just kind of only depends on Davante, which I will say at times is a fair thing, but you still have to read the field, Rodgers. I get it, you know, your offensive line was banged up, one of the worst units in the league when you really look at it. Pretty decent run unit, but pass unit, they were okay. But when you look at the names, look at the injuries, look at the shuffling, you know, you had no Elton for half the year. You had no Bakhtiari all year. You know, you had the rookie center was out the majority of the year. It was a banged up offensive line, so I can get, you know, if you don't have the time to make your reads, to just throw it to your number 1. But, I mean, we've seen how that hurt him against the Niners. If he didn't have Davante, who knows? Maybe we get blown out by, well, I wouldn't say blown out because the Niners offense was pretty bad, but maybe we don't even come close. Or maybe he actually is forced to make the read and he sees a wide open, I don't even know who the hell was it, Equanimous, or obviously the deep in to Alan Lazard. Maybe he sees that, and maybe Green Bay goes on to win that game. Maybe they win the damn Super Bowl. I can't say because, once again, Davante draws that double team. He draws that triple team at times. He's going to be even better in Vegas, assuming he stays healthy, which, I mean, once again, he gets banged up a little bit, misses a game or 2, but he should be fine there. And assuming, the game plan's set well. They got Waller now. They have him. The running game is a little bit worse than Green Bay's, but not by a whole lot. Offensive line plays pretty similar. Once again, you don't know what's going to happen with Green Bay with Elton Jenkins and David Bakhtiari, but they should be back and healthy. You know, they have a pretty good defense. On paper, could be better than Green Bay's. It's a good situation, but once again, it's a tough division to play in, and I really do think that Rodgers' like arrogance, maybe, or the limelight, and maybe once again, like I was saying with, you know, Rodgers being unhappy with the situation around him, not getting the weapons he wants, not hearing the input or whatever. You know, Davante was in a worse situation, realistically. I mean, at the end of the day, Rodgers holds a lot of control as the quarterback. If nothing's there, you can throw it away. He can dump it down. But as far as Davante's role goes, he can't just dump it down. You know, he's got to run routes against 2-3 players getting pressed all the time. And, you know, they press with a guy over top. I mean, his job was hard here in Green Bay. And you can't really get away with that with a freak like Waller, you know, running across the middle. And, you know, Renfro, the route running guru he is, I mean, it's going to be a tough offense to stop. Whereas, you know, you lock up Davante and, you know, Green Bay's offense just falls apart. So as far as being a Davante fan goes, I like it for him. For Green Bay, once again, if he's unhappy, he's not going to sign a contract, which it seemed like that's kind of where they were. If the reports are true that Green Bay was willing to match the Raiders' offer, you know, it's the best situation. What appears to be at least a first-round pick, maybe also a second-round pick, is good enough compensation for a wide receiver when, once again, we've seen what happened to Hopkins. I will say Davante is probably better by a decent margin over Hopkins, but I don't know if the league views him that way. I would say they view him very, you know, similarly. But yeah, I wish Davante the best. I'm not going to be like, you know, if he gets it career ended or season ended or, you know, it doesn't work out, I'll be like, oh, thank God. You know, this is a move that sucks, but got to think of all the positives. Also got to think about the fact that this does save a decent bit of cap space. I'd imagine. Once again, I don't know how that dead hit potentially is going to work from the tag, because what was it going to be, like 9.5, you know, each side. So we might take a 10 mil hit automatically. I'm not sure if the Raiders can pick that up or how that works, but should be able to open up a little bit of space to, I wouldn't say bring back Za'Darius. He's going to look to get paid. Obviously, he backed out of the Ravens deal. I want him, but it's not the biggest need. Maybe you try to go for Odell if he's still available. You try to go for somebody that's still available wide receiver wise. Now I kind of wish Chark was still available. But yeah, you got to assume this year is kind of like, okay, Green Bay might go wide receiver first round. Now they kind of have no choice. Or do they go and trade up from both first round picks and grab one of the better guys, one of the better top, like Garrett Wilson or something, on the top of the board? Wide receivers, I'm not sure. I think Green Bay's a wait and, react type of team. Obviously, Jordan Love was kind of out of the ballpark there, but when you think you have a franchise quarterback laying there, and, you also got to think about Minnesota and Chicago being very close as well in that situation to potentially trading up. You can't really blame that too much, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. This is a surprise, but also not a surprise. Once again, when I was arguing with people about where Davante is going to play, is he going to re-sign or anything, that it was always about not that he wouldn't play somewhere else, but the fact that he would be tagged and traded. So this is kind of like a 75% surprise, 25%. And the destination's not a surprise at all, but the fact that he was traded and not re-signed definitely is. But yeah, that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe got some insight, from, the Packers side of things, perhaps. I mean, you don't know anything about them, even though Rodgers kind of thrusted them into the limelight. I want to know what Rodgers' feeling is. I'm sure he's pissed. But you know what? Hey, it's a business. You made it the business by, bleeding the team with the contract. I'm really more not caring about, honestly, screw what Rodgers got to think. I'm worried about the franchise itself. I mean, it seems like the franchise is trying to do the best they can to keep everyone happy while making the fans happy. But Rodgers is really just making it all about himself. I ain't going to lie about it, to be honest. It's just, they get this deal done with Davante a lot easier if he saves 10 mil. He pulls 10 mil off the 10 mil per off. They don't have to, hey, Davante, will you play for 25 per? No, 26, maybe 27, It's like, okay, Davante, here's 30, It's like, it's simply done. 30 year per 4-year deal or something like that. Green Bay is heading towards poverty, all right? The NFC North is a shamble show. I don't know what they're going to draft. I don't know what free agency now holds with a potential freeing of this, once allocated money towards Davante. But not to repeat myself too much, that's about it. If you guys enjoyed, maybe leave a like, maybe subscribe. If you didn't enjoy those, maybe just do that just for my, my sanity, because I'm sad now. This sucks, dude. I missed Davante already. Anyways, we'll be back with some sort of video tomorrow, but regardless, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys come back for next video. But until next video, see